Torrey, thank you very much for taking time to speak with us. It's an incredibly interesting, volatile, and uncertain time in the world of global trade and for zones. And you are representing an important port and an area of development in the United States. How is Tampa reacting and adapting to the current landscape? What's kind of keeping you up at night, but where do you see some opportunities?
So, it's interesting because, Port Tampa Bay is the largest port in Florida. We've weathered a lot of different types of storms. There's always a disruption in the supply chain for us, regardless if it's changing restructuring of the shipping lanes or some type of infrastructural challenges that we have, or now we have the tariffs. Mm-hmm. So always try to manage it. The best answer I could probably give, as a port authority, we're simply a facilitator. We're facilitators of trying to make sure that the cargo moves as efficient as possible with whatever type of challenges that are in front of us. With the current challenges, ultimately it leads to an increase in pricing. Mm-hmm. And so our clients are trying to figure out how to minimize their costs. They're working with us, see if we can provide some type of value-add service to minimize that for them. And so it's a work in progress. The challenge that we have principally is the timing. Everything is happening from a Washington, D.C. standpoint very rapidly. Mm-hmm. We're in April now, 3 months into the year, and we have so much change. And as you know, in the supply chain world, change doesn't happen within 3 months. So that's the biggest obstacle. How we're managing it is we're talking it through with our clients and trying to figure out what can we do in the short term that will lead to a long-term solution.
And how have volumes, but also in terms of where traffic is coming from in the Port of Tampa evolved in recent years? Do you see any major shifts that might have taken place as a result of how supply chains have been changing already in recent years?
Oh, definitely. The opening of the Panama Canal was a big deal for us. As being a port on the Gulf, within the Gulf of Mexico, we saw the larger ships come in, and then they started to call the Gulf of Mexico ports. It took a little while because the supply chains had to shift. So that was one disruption that was for our benefit. Mm-hmm. And just over time, we could go the ebbs and flows. The pandemic didn't necessarily hurt us that much either, because with the opening of the Panama Canal and the need for more things, everybody was sitting at home. Our container volumes actually increased, which was good for us in that realm as well.
And so you're here in Colombia. What kind of linkages does Tampa have with Colombia and with South America? And why did you feel it was important for you to make time to travel here?
Yeah, so we have, specifically with Cartagena, we have service going directly between Tampa and Cartagena through one of our carriers, which is Maersk. And so being able to develop that trade lane is beneficial to come down here and see what's happening on this end. Also, I manage the foreign trade zone environment in the Tampa Bay area, including Port Tampa Bay. So this is a combination of ports and free zone type of conference. So we thought it would be beneficial to come and see what's going on this end, so we can take it back home and see what we can increase.
What kind of role do you see ultimately in technology and innovation in helping ports, but also broader economic zones?
The flow
succeed?
of goods. From a business development standpoint, it's simply the flow of goods. How can we use technology to increase the efficiency and the speed of goods coming into the port, going through our processes, and then going back out? Mm-hmm. Additionally, from a logistics standpoint, we are exploring setting up a logistics park within Port Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. And so the software component will be important to that. I'm not sure how close we will get to AI in the next few months, because I think that's a bigger step. But at least technology will be kind of the catalyst to help fuel that logistics side for.
Yeah, but the AI step is one that will surely be taken. It's kind of unavoidable.
I mean, it's an unavoidable event. It's going to happen. You can't walk away from it. It's like mass production and manufacturing. At some point, you're going to bring in machines to do the work of men. And so the same thing happened with computers.
Yeah, and as you are very involved in the foreign trade zone community in the U.S., do you think in the current environment, and even in the face of tariffs and trade wars, does that justify even more the role of free trade zones? Or how do you see that?
So it's interesting. I actually sit on the board of directors for the National Association of Foreign Trade Zones, and these are some of the conversations that we're having. What is the role of the foreign trade zone regime in the United States of America as it revolves around not just this question, but also economic development from a nationwide standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So we're always having those conversations. How can we enhance the program so it can be more beneficial for the U.S. commerce? Now, mind you, I will say that the intent of what the administration is trying to do is not a bad thing overall. I think there should be enhanced local utilization of local suppliers. I mean, in Florida, for instance, we grow strawberries, and the strawberry market has a good in with some of the retailers when the strawberry season opens. After that, other strawberries coming in, but at least they have access to those marketplaces. So in order to leverage the U.S. marketplace and to get more domestic production, I don't think it's a bad thing. But I do think the change and the speed of the change and how companies don't necessarily know how to navigate it, that's the biggest disruption than actually what the final goal is desired to be.
Yeah, it's unpredictability is
unpredictability.
what's difficult. Well, we wish you best of luck navigating all these changes, Torrey, and thank you so much for taking time to speak with us.
All right, thank you very much.